Good morning, lovely viewers. This is Siddiq from Mission Canada, and today's video is all about the cost of the total immigration process, which has been asked probably 1,000 times or 1,000,000 times in our channel. Okay, I want to get a total idea about the cost that I'm looking at if I want to go to Canada, right? Definitely you are on the right spot to ask this question. I'm not sure whether I can give you the 100% of this or not, but I'll try my best so that you at least have an idea, because this totally depends on the individual profile, the individual family members and all other things, right? And where you want to come, what you want to do. There are so many factors involved, right? So before we begin, please take a notebook and pen so that you can note down your number correctly, okay? Because not all the numbers are applicable for everyone. So I'm gonna give you the total idea in total 8 steps. That means whatever the cost will be coming, that will be coming out of these 8 steps anyway. So number 1, I'm beginning with ECA process. That means Educational Credential Assessment process. Okay, now you can look for this particular table where I have shown you how much they are charging per application. Okay, now why I am emphasizing this per application, because some of you, let's say if you are a main applicant and if you have a spouse, if you're married, right, then for the spouse it is not mandatory, but if you do his or her ECA, you will claim some extra points, right? So that is how I'm saying is per application. Now please go to this table and your right ECA organization, then just note down the cost accordingly. Let me give you a little bit more idea on this ECA process, because you may see, okay, somebody is having more fees, somebody is having less fees. Why it is so? Because it depends on their own choice. So IRCC has designated 5 ECA organization for all the general applicants, and MCC for the doctors especially, and PEBC for the pharmacist especially. Now you know where to go. However, if you want to know more about ECA in details, please go to this particular videos so that you have the idea about total ECA process. Okay, now if you want to know about the second step is the language test. Okay, so I am assuming, and probably all of you will agree, more than 95% of the people will go for the IELTS, but however PEF and CELPIP are also the choice. Okay, now you can go to this table, and again this table is for per person. That means if you are married and if your spouse want to participate this exam, you have to double up the cost. Okay, and just like ECA, IELTS, CELPIP or TF is not mandatory for the spouse, but if you do, you get some extra points. So it's totally up to you. Now if you're looking for a little bit more guidance on IELTS preparation, then you can go to our channel and look for this particular videos, which will give you a little bit more idea. Regarding step 1 and step 2, why I am saying ECA comes first and IELTS at the second? No, it is not fixed. You can go for IELTS first and go to ECA second. It's up to you. However, there are some personal logics. Like I have got some logic why I am preferring ECA first over IELTS. So there is a video like on that. You can go to this particular video if you want. Then you will have understanding about the logic behind it. Okay. Number 3 is the proof of fund. Now here I want to give you a note that creating express entry profile is absolutely free, and on that particular moment you won't have to show any money, but you'll have to declare the amount of the money you have in your possession and what is the amount of the money they're looking for. So please go to this table and see what is the money you are looking for. Now I am giving you a little bit more insights on this particular table. This table is completely dependent on the family member of you. Now number 1 becomes with if you are just a single, you are not married, that means having no kids, nothing. So you can see the number 1, so that is your money. Then if you are married, that means you are just married but no kid at all, so you are looking at the value of number 2 only. Then based on how many kids you have, you just go accordingly. Now Many of you are asking us, okay, family member means, does it include siblings, parents, any other relatives? No, absolutely not. Family members means just you, your spouse, if you're married, and if you have any kids. That's it. So calculate the numbers accordingly and point down your number. That's it. By the way, if you're looking for more details on proof of fund, like what sort of funds are accepted, what are the other terms and conditions, you can go to this particular video. I'll be giving all the links, all the reference video links in the description box, so that you can go a little bit more details if you want. Because if I want to discuss on everything in this single video, that will be hours long, and you won't find this is a fruitful video. I doubt, right? So that's why I'm just giving the highlights about the total cost, and in case if you want to investigate more, please go to those reference videos so that you have the entire understanding. Many of you will be requiring taking support from PNP, okay, Provincial Nomination Program, because if your profile is not high enough or rich enough in terms of CRS point, right? For example, recent trend is 470 plus, and they are only getting the ITA. So if your IELTS, educational background, work experience, or age, or combining all those things are not rich enough or high enough to go up to 470 or plus, that means you must need Provincial Nomination Program's support, where you can get 600 additional point and your point just boom up like whoosh. Okay, so there are some costs involved, except just 2 to 3 PNPs. All other will be requiring some application fees, and again this application fee is not per person. This application fee is as a total. That means whether you are coming alone or whether you are coming with a family, doesn't matter. This is just the application fee. Okay, so you can just see this particular table so that you understand whatever the PNP you will be applying for, that is the application fee cost. Okay, now I want to give you a little bit more insights on these particular PNPs. If you please go to our channel, you will have more idea what are the PNPs available and which PNP might be suitable for you. Please go through those particular videos so that you understand your right PNP to go for, and you can calculate your cost accordingly. Number 5th, this is regarding some documents collection and medical, then police clearance certificate. So I would say again, this is sort of country specific, but I want to give you some idea. Let's say documents collection means I'm meaning the birth certificate collection. If you don't have it, you should have, but still if you don't have, you need to collect it from your ministry, right? Then maybe your job reference letter or something else, which should not cost you too much, but at least you can put a lump sum value, you know best, right? But for the medical and for the police clearance, I would say for the medical, definitely it's based on your own country, but that should range somewhere around 150 to 250 Canadian dollar in your country, maybe. For the police clearance certificate, there are some extra money involved sometimes, so it depends on that. It might be somewhere around 20 to 50 Canadian dollar equivalent. You know your country best, so please calculate the police clearance certificate cost accordingly. Number 6 is the RPRF, that means right to permanent resident fees, application fees, and biometric fees. So this is again the per person. So please just you calculate yourself how many person you have in your family, then just go with this calculation. Okay, number 7 is absolutely the plane fare. So again, this is definitely country specific, so you know your country best, but if you are looking for just a range, I would say somewhere around 1500 Canadian dollar per person. That means adult person, and depending if you have kids or not, and depending again if what age they belong to, please calculate the cost accordingly. That's why I said in the very beginning of the video, please take a notebook, because I can just give you the idea, but I cannot estimate the cost perfectly because it depends on the people, it depends on the country. So just calculate your plane fare from your country to Canada, one way definitely, and then you get your cost. Last but not the least is the total preparation of landing to Canada. That means if you're coming to Canada, how much money you will actually bring to Canada. Okay, again, this is totally depends on your family size, right? But to give you a very nearly accurate idea, I will refer you to step 3, which is proof of fund. So the proof of fund is designed in such a way, probably that will cover your initial 6 months cost. That means if you bring equivalent to that money, you shouldn't have any problem to survive your initial 6 months, because you know you are coming to a new country. You never know what are the challenges are coming. You never know you are getting a job right after coming or not. So that's why Canadian government has designed that proof of money in such a way so that you can survive well in that 6 months, and within these 6 months you should be able to figure out a way for yourself and your family if you are bringing your family, right? Personally, me, I would suggest to bring a little bit more. Why? Because just after coming, you will need to invest something on your furniture, on your daily necessary things, or maybe your utensils, because you cannot just bring each and everything from your back home, right? So there would be requiring some extra money. And also sometimes I have seen some newcomers facing challenge to get a home to rent, because most likely, especially in the bigger cities, they are not very much interested to give rent to newcomers, because they are also afraid, oh my god, what will happen if you don't find a job? Can you pay me my rent? So that times they're a little bit afraid and they don't want to give the rent to the newcomers. So either they ask for the guarantors, or they ask you to deposit at least 6 months of the total rent. Okay, so those sort of scenarios are also there, so you should also consider those sort of challenges. But I'm not making you scared, just I'm giving you some heads up, those might be some challenges as well. So the summary is, please add up some more money which you have seen in the step 3. So step 3 plus some more money, so that you are coming with some mental peace, right? Now, this was it for the day, my friend. If you have noted down all these things clearly, I hope that should be good. And in case if you're having some more questions, please don't hesitate to leave your comments in this video, or go to our Facebook group. You can ask there. So you can go to our blog if you need to contact to me one-to-one. That way is also there, and you can follow us on our Instagram. This is it for the day. See you someday in Canada if you're coming. Bye bye.